Hello, I'm Commander Oliver Morris with the Los Alamos Police Department. It's an exciting time to live in Los Alamos. With the increase in hiring at the lab, we've seen more motorists and visitors come to Los Alamos. But with that, we've also seen an increase in traffic. And with traffic, we also get calls of distracted driving, speeding, and sometimes aggressive driving. Please join me in reducing these calls. Our officers are going to be out in force looking for these types of driving behavior. If you see something, please call us at our non-emergency line or our emergency line. We appreciate your partnership in helping keep our community safe, and thank you.
Hi, I'm Troy Hughes with Los Alamos Fire Department, reminding you that fall's upon us and winter's soon coming, so we'll start using our appliances more, like our furnace, our fireplaces. Make sure you get those appliances checked by a certified technician, especially the fireplaces. Make sure you've got a good chimney sweep, get that thing good and clean and ready to burn, and make sure you have a good working CO detector and smoke alarm in your home if you're going to use those appliances.
In the vast expanse known as the Griffith Gymnasium. Welcome, everybody, to another afternoon of Los Alamos High School girls basketball. This is Gene Martinson here at Griffith Gymnasium, and about the only one here. They got the teams and the scores, and that's about it. Well, just anybody that's official is here, and that's it. No spectators this afternoon, so the girls will be playing without the services of any spectators, and I will be broadcasting this ball game without the services of Mike Mays, who couldn't make it here this afternoon. So we'll be flying solo here this afternoon as they take on the Sartans from Albuquerque, St. Pius, coached by Bree Road. And coming into the ball game, they are 5-7. They just dropped a ball game yesterday afternoon, and so as they come in, they lost the ball game to Valencia. Very, very close ball game, 39-37, which is, and Valencia's a pretty good team actually, but they also had lost before that. Just before that, they lost to Taos, one of our district opponents, 49-41. And but they did beat Hope 54-50 in the game before that. So they are right now 1-2 on the last 3 games that they have played. And the Hilltoppers, coached by Ray Romero, coming into the ball game, and they are 8-7 overall. So St. Pius only listed 8 players on the Max Prep roster, and then they added 2 girls, Taylor Castro and Lainey Lynch, after that onto the scorebook. No heights. I have no heights for St. Pius, and so when I look at their starting lineup, it's going to be Reagan Morris. She is a junior. Alyssa Mays, a sophomore. Eli Garcia, a junior. Marisol Valdez, a junior. Catalina Anaya. Desiree Ortiz is the other starter, and she is a sophomore. Rounding out for the non-starters, we have Bella Candelaria, and I'm not sure Bella is here today, Catalina Anaya, and then Taylor Castro and Lainey Lynch. So we're about ready to go here in just a moment, as both teams now talking to their coaches. The Hilltoppers will start For the Hilltoppers, they'll start at guard Abby Martinez. She's a 5'5" sophomore. Also at guard, we'll have a 5'3" senior, Lena Chavez. Gigi Romero on the wing. She's a 5'8" freshman. The point guard for Los Alamos will be Carrie Holland. She's a 5'6" junior. And underneath for the Hilltoppers, a 6' senior, Emma Raven. And so for the Spartans, I don't have any heights, but watching them warm up. And there is one young lady out there who stands at least 6 feet tall. And right now she still has on her, I believe she still has on her warm-up jersey. So I'm not sure that she's going to be starting. But right now, Maury Pongratz, he is the PA announcer. He's here doing PA to the teams, essentially. And so that's about it. Me and the referees and the teams and a few scattered officials, and that's it. So the interesting ball game. We had the same situation yesterday afternoon that the Hilltopper boys took on Bernalillo, ran into a buzzsaw in the second half, had a very, very good first half, but they ran into a total buzzsaw. Bernalillo in the second half could not get going in the third quarter. But the third quarter did not slow Bernalillo down at all, and Bernalillo winning that ball game, as it turns out, fairly handily. So Maury Pongratz right now introducing the teams, and as soon as he finishes that, he only introduced the starters, and which I don't understand why, because it would take him about 20 seconds to introduce all the rest of the players that are here. But the Hilltoppers here with a full complement, and St. Pius coached by Bree Road, and well, I don't know, they look a little short-handed, but anyway, we're ready to go. And Emma Raven will jump up, and she's going to go up against, and that will be, okay, that's Desiree Ortiz, and she is a sophomore, and she's the young lady I said that stands about 6 feet tall. And starts off as the Sartans control the tip. Now, right now, this is some motion offense working against the Los Alamos zone. They bring it out on top. They're going to rotate it to the left wing. Three-point shot is up and in. Nice-looking shot. That time from Alyssa Mays, a sophomore. And St. Pius takes a three-point lead right now. And right now, a 2-2-1 three-quarter zone press that's coming down the floor as Abby Martinez bounces it over now to Lena Chavez. Lena holding the ball. Ala Bernalillo standing out in the middle of the half-court circle. Three-point shot by the Hilltoppers is off by Abby Martinez. Rebound comes down to the Sarton. Sarton long pass down the floor and going around the baseline. Now they're going to dish it outside. Another three-point shot. And this one also by the same girl, Alyssa Mays. No, this one is Illy Gonzalez, and Lily drops it in for three. So suddenly it's a 6-0 lead for the Sartans. So some deadly three-point shooters to start things off for the Sartans, who were just underway here in the first quarter. And the Sartans have converted both of their three-point shots. Against Gigi Romero in the corner, she's immediately trapped. Carrie Holland puts up the three-point shot. It is off. Rebound comes down to Abby Martinez. As she heads to the basket, she loses the handle. Long pass down the floor, and nobody, only had one girl back. So they, as soon as the Sarton picked up that loose ball, they just took off. Had two girls roaring down the floor. They got the pass down to her and then heading to the basket. And let's see. I can't see the number on the girl. I love the ponytails. Okay, it's Illy Gonzalez shooting two. She misses the first, so she will shoot one more with 6:24 remaining here in the first period. Second shot, this was good. Right now it's a 7-0 lead for St. Pius. Working on the press. Hilltopper breaks the press easily and taking it to the hole and laying it in with the left hand is Gigi Martinez. So she just broke the press all by herself. Came down the left side, just broke by everybody and laid it in with the left hand. And now we're going to have a 30-second timeout taken by Bree Road. So with the score right now at 7-2, and Bree Road to take a wants to take a timeout early on, so I'm not sure what she's unhappy about. She does have a 7-2 lead over the Hilltopper girls. Dan Stewart was talking to me yesterday, and she was telling me that things are supposed to be back to normal next week as the Hilltoppers will start district play. And she says everything's going to go back to normal, as she put it, whatever normal is. And of course, all that could change in an instant. But coming out now to the timeout, St. Pius will inbound it. No press being put on by Los Alamos. And just walking it up the floor is Alyssa Mays. Mays brings it up, and they get it underneath. Shot taken, and we're going to have another foul called on Los Alamos. Has taken to the hole that time was Alyssa Mays. She had passed it over into the wing, came back to her. Then she took it to the hole from the right side, and Alyssa is going to go to the free throw line. And she will shoot two. That personal foul went to Gigi Romero. That's her first. That's the second team foul on Los Alamos. And at the free throw line, Alyssa Mays, as she puts it in, and she barely was able to keep herself from stepping over the foul line, which of course would be a violation. But this time, she's a little more. This time she's going to wait. So she cans it. So they're 3 out of 4 from the free throw line, and an 8-2 lead for the Sartans. Full court press, and they get it down the floor to Gigi Romero once again. But Gigi this time back in a hurry in transition, and the Sartans are able to cut her off. Bring it now over onto Carly Holland. Holland, outstanding point guard for Los Alamos. Shot taken from the right wing this time by Sofia Trujillo, the 5'4" freshman. This is off. Rebound comes down to the Sartans. They'll bring it over onto the right wing to Illy Gonzalez. Gonzalez will bring it back out on top. Alyssa May just holding the ball, is going to hand it over to Reagan Morris. Morris in the corner to Marisol Valdez. So underneath, behind the Hilltopper zone, sneaking behind the zone, and wide open under there, but not able to do anything with it. And that was Reagan Morris. They got the pass to her. A nice inlet, a nice entry pass from Illy Gonzalez. But anyway, the Hilltoppers with that matchup zone, I mean, they were on her immediately. But she did sneak in behind the zone. And now the ball is lost out of bounds by the Sartans. Hilltoppers will inbound it on the sideline in the backcourt, working against that full court press again. They bring it across the timeline to Alyssa Garcia. Garcia will get it to Sofia Trujillo and over to Carly Holland. Holland now at the top of the key, comes to the left wing, looking inside, can't find anybody. Get it to Gigi Romero. Gigi dribbles out to the top of the key. She's going to hand it back now to Sofia Trujillo. Sophia holding the ball above her head, trying to find somebody to get it to. Finally does get it to Alyssa Garcia. Hilltoppers want to shoot the three. They can't shoot the three, so they get it to Sophia. She fakes the three, dribbles in, puts a shot up from about 15 feet out, rolls around the rim, comes out, and it's going to go off of the Sartans out of bounds, so the Hilltoppers will inbound it under their own basket, baseline right, and they will hand the ball right now to Alyssa Garcia. Garcia having a lot of trouble getting it in, and she finally does as she gets it into Daylene Rodriguez. And so Daylene, a little short shot is off. Rebound as it comes off the front of the rim. Rebound down to the Sartans again. Breaking to the basket. A nice pass, but good. That lane was open that time for Alyssa Mays, but the Hilltoppers closed it off in a hurry. And now trying to sneak behind the zone again is Marisol Valdez, and the pass to her goes wide. So the Hilltoppers, the Sartans using that old tactic against the zones of trying to sneak down the baseline. Passes down the floor is intercepted by Catalina Anaya over to and I thought that was going to be an Illy Gonzalez, who already had one three-pointer. This three-pointer is off. And the Hilltoppers with the rebound. They get it right now to Sofia Trujillo. Trujillo over to Gigi Romero. Three-point shot by Gigi. That's good. Nothing but net for Gigi. And the 5'8" freshman gives the Hilltoppers, makes it a 9-5 ball game. And we're going to have a timeout taken once again. And this one is also going to be taken by Bree Road. And this time she takes a full timeout. So she took a full, and now she takes a 30. So I'm not sure what Bree is upset about, but she burned 2 timeouts here in the first quarter. And 9-5 ball game right now. The Hilltoppers down by 4 after that shot by Gigi Romero. So Gigi right now with all 5 points in the ball game for Los Alamos. And for the Spartans, they've had 2 girls score, Alyssa Mays and Illy Gonzalez, each with a 3-pointer, and then Alyssa with 2 free throws, and then Illy with 1 free throw. 4 points for Illy and 5 points for Alyssa. So 3 girls have scored in this ball game so far. 1 for Los Alamos and 2 for St. Pius. And right now we are at 3:40 to go here in the first quarter, and no press being put on by Los Alamos, as St. Pius will inbound it under the Hilltopper basket, and they will bring it up, and walking it up the floor is Alyssa Mays. Mays across the timeline, pulls at the top of the key, starts to go. She is cut off. She's going to flip it out to Marisol Valdez. Valdez now in the corner, and there's a 3-point shot up by Alyssa Mays. That is off. Rebound comes down to the Hilltoppers. Michelle Macias gets it, and she travels. So lifted up her pivot foot. Good call by the official. St. Pius will inbound under their own basket, baseline right. They bring it into the corner. Hilltoppers right there on top of them. So they're going to have to bring it out on top to Illy Gonzalez, and they'll start things over. Illy dishes it over now to Marisol Valdez. And right from the free throw line, nice looking shot from the free throw line as she pulled up Alyssa Mays. And that gives her now 7 points in the ball game and makes it now an 11-5 ball game. Full court press by St. Pius, and his ball is stolen away by Marisol Valdez, and then the ball knocked out of her hands by Sophia Trujillo, but it's going to be off of Sophia. So St. Pius, with that press, forces the turnover. They'll inbound it to Marisol Valdez on the dribble, brings it over to Alyssa Mays. Will put it down now out on top to Marisol, comes over onto the left side. Lily Gonzalez trying to start to make the move. Lily's hiding behind the zone again, and this time they almost get it to her. But boy, I mean, good coverage that time by Alyssa Garcia. She got a finger on it. Otherwise, Lily was going to be wide open under there. Pass is going to be picked off by Los Alamos. So good hustle this time by Alyssa Garcia. So that's twice now that she's made her presence known. Gigi Romero is going to bounce it out over now to Sophia Trujillo. Trujillo on the dribble, Marisol Valdez all over her. Comes to Gigi Romero. Now back now to Sophia. Almost loses the ball out of bounds. The ball is knocked away from her. Picked up. Loose ball picked up by Marisol Valdez. Valdez is going to flip it over and get it to Alyssa Mays. And Mays will bring it up for Pius. Going to flip it over into the corner. And they're trying to get it inside to Desiree Ortiz, but Los Alamos has that covered up pretty well. So the pass now is down the floor. The pass by St. Pius is long. As they were trying to get it down on the baseline, they overthrow it. So let's see if I can pick up the topper lineup here before they're going to make. Well, they just made some wholesale changes. Kenya Macias with it for Los Alamos. Going to bring it up to Gigi Romero. Gigi starts to go with the 3, decides not to, and then gets it to Daylin Rodriguez. Back to Gigi. She puts up the 3, and the rebound is pulled down by Alyssa Mays. Minute 25 to go here in the first quarter. Long pass, from Alyssa all the way down on the baseline, and way down on the baseline, and puts it in for 2. And that was, let's see. So the Hilltoppers trying to get it underneath, and let me see if I can see who got that basket. I think it was Illy Gonzalez. That's who she's going to get credit for it anyway. So right now it's a 13-5 ball game. Pius up by 8 over in Los Alamos, and Daylin Rodriguez will check out of the ball game. And Gigi Romero will take the ball from the official. We're checking something. So let's see. For the Hilltoppers, we have Gigi Romero and Kenya Macias, along with Abby Martinez, Carly Holland, and Caitlin Bolardi in the ball game for Los Alamos right now. And so the the official now checking the book and now talking things over with Bree Road. And anyway, I don't know what the problem here is, but checking the book for something, and I'm not sure whether we have everybody's good in the book. Now they're checking the Pius book. So we'll see if there's any consequence to any of this. And there's going to be a T. Going to be a technical foul, and it's going to be against Pius. So something in the book, I do believe. So Gigi Romero will take the 2-shot technical for Los Alamos. So whatever the problem was, there was a problem with the book, something not right. So they called the technical. So Gigi will go to the free throw line for Los Alamos, shoot the 2-shot technical, drops in the first. So the freshman at the line has all the points for Los Alamos right now, as the Hilltoppers with 6, and Gigi has them all, and she wants to pick up her 7th point, and she does exactly that. So Gigi with 7 points, all of them for Los Alamos. So we have 7 minutes gone here in this first quarter, and for Los Alamos, scoring-wise anyway, it's been all Gigi Romero. The Hilltoppers will inbound it at midcourt as a result of the technical. They'll get it to Carly Holland. Holland will walk it up, and now she's going to get a screen from Gigi. Carly starts to put up the 3, loses the handle. Hilltoppers able to chase it down. Now a 3-point shot quickly taken, this time by Abby Martinez. Rebound is going to come down to Alyssa Mays. And Mays walks it across the timeline, and she's going to get a screen this time from Marisol Valdez and brings it over to the right side, out on top once again. So working right around the 3-point line and now penetrating right down the middle of Broadway, but the ball stolen away from her and long pass on the floor comes to Carly Holland, and Holland is fouled. Boy, I mean, a beautiful steal underneath this time by Caitlin Velarde. And then she just came roaring down the floor, got a nice pass up to Carly. Carly took it to the hole, was fouled in the act of shooting, and that personal foul is going to be the 2nd team foul on Pius. And the personal foul went to Alyssa Mays, and that's her first. And at the free throw line, Carly Holland, good free throw shooter. So Carly finally gets into the scoring column. So somebody else besides Gigi Romero finally in the book for Los Alamos, makes it 13-8. And Carly can close this to 4, and it's too short. Rebound, battle for it, picked up by Carly. Oh, and she misses the layup, gets Gigi Romero, gets it. Her putback is in. So the Hilltoppers pounding the boards, and they close it now to a 3-point ball game, 13-10. And we're down to the final 15 seconds of quarter number 1. Comes now to Catalina Anaya. Anaya will bring it, get it out to Alyssa. Alyssa was trying to get it to Catalina, cutting to the basket, couldn't. And so they will now bring it over onto the right wing. Hilltopper defense, and so at the buzzer they put the shot up, and not in time. And so after 1 quarter of play, it's 13-10, Pius over Los Alamos. And so the 3-point lead for the Sartans. And let's see, for the Sartans, they had 1, 2, 3, 4. They had 4 field goals. Let's see, they had 4. They had 4 field goals, and 2 of those were 3-pointers. And they were 3 of 4 from the free throw line. And so for the Hilltoppers, most of it by Gigi Romero, and she ended up with 9 points, as she had, and the Hilltoppers now with 3 field goals, 1 3-pointer, and they are 3 or 4 from the line. So 13-10 right now is the score after 1 quarter of play. And Hilltoppers will inbound it to start the second quarter, as the Hilltoppers, as Pius won the toss to start things off here in this ball game. So right now the situation is Gigi Romero. She has 9 points for Los Alamos. Kenya and Carly Holland has 1. And so and the 2 girls have scored for St. Pius. That's Alyssa Mays and Yoli Gonzalez. And Alyssa has 8, and Yoli has 5. And it'll be inbounded by Los Alamos to start quarter number 2. They'll hand the ball now to Caitlin Velarde. And he's had the same lineup as they had going out of the quarter, so no substitutions in the quarter for Ray Romero. Carly Holland starts to go with a 3. We're going to have a setting a screen for Los Alamos, and it's going to be a blocking foul, and that one is going to go to Kenya Macias. That's going to be her first. That's a third team foul on Los Alamos. Hilltoppers have not called a timeout, and St. Pius has called 2 in that first quarter. They're working now against the Hilltoppers right now. Hilltoppers are in a girl-to-girl defense right now, so they've changed that defense. They were playing a matchup zone to start things off, and actually had done a pretty good job against the penetration. It was the 3-point that was killing them, and now they get it now to Alyssa Mays, and Mays is going to take it to the hole. Her shot is blocked, and it hits the bottom of the backboard, and then it bounces off of Alyssa out of bounds. Pass comes up the floor to Hilltoppers to Gigi Romero, working against the St. Pius press, and they bring it out on top to Carly Holland. Holland going to dribble all the way from the left wing to the right wing. Now to Caitlin Velarde going down the baseline. Boy, nice move. She a little down the baseline, and it's a little pull-up set shot by Caitlin. Boy, that was pretty. And Caitlin puts it in for 2, and Hilltoppers closes to a 1-point ball game, 13-12. Dribbling out on top with the ball right now, Marisol Valdez going to get it over to Alyssa. Mays will get it down in the corner, now cutting to the basket. A little give and go, and they get it now to Bella Candelaria, and Candelaria puts it in for 2. So a little give and go as Candelaria made the pass to the wing and cut to the basket, and then she got the pass and she laid it in, and so we're going to have let's see. That makes it 16-12, and I'm not sure why they stopped the clock, but Los Alamos now has to get some substitutes in, but pass down the floor is deflected, picked up, loose ball picked up by Bella Candelaria. Candelaria over to Alyssa Mays, and Mays over on the left wing hits it to Catalina Anaya. Anaya trying to penetrate in, can't. The ball is knocked away over to Bella Candelaria. The ball is almost stolen away by the Hilltoppers, actually saved back in by Los Alamos, and that's saved back in by Abby Martinez, comes right to Pius, and now Pius coming down the left side of the lane, and with the ball that time was, and that was Desiree Ortiz has the ball knocked out of her hands, and now for the Hilltoppers, Lena Chavez will check in for the Hilltoppers. She's going to replace Caitlin Velarde. Velarde will sit down with 2 points, the only 2 points in this quarter. And Catalina Anaya is going to bring it all the way out on top to Alyssa Mays. And boy, all over her in a hurry was Lena Chavez. 3-point shot from way out. And this one taken by Catalina Anaya. Hilltoppers with a rebound, and they bring it down the floor. Long pass comes down now to Abby Martinez. She takes it to the hole, and she's fouled. So she takes it in, and a personal foul, I think, is going to go to, to Catalina Anaya. That is going to be Catalina's first personal, and that will be the third team foul on Pius. And so nobody on the lane for Los Alamos right now, as shooting all by herself up there is Abby Martinez, puts in the first of 2, and now the Hilltoppers fill the lane. So I'm not sure what the point of that is, but anyway, I guess it helps Abby relax, I guess. Second shot is off, so I guess they should have stayed off the lane, I guess. Girls must have made her nervous or something. We have 5:45 to go here in the first half. 15-13. Ball stolen away by the Hilltoppers. Lena Chavez. She starts to make the pass down the floor, or she starts to dribble and decides that she sees cutting down the floor. She sees Carly Holland, tries to pick up her dribble, and she travels. So she started to dribble, and she decided to pass. And anyway, the neurons just didn't connect to that. So they're going to bring it now over in the corner to Reagan Morris. Morris has the ball stolen away from her. It's going to be stolen away by Los Alamos, coming down the left sideline and stepping on the left sideline, Abby Martinez. 5:26 remaining in the half. 2-point ball game. 15-13. And now coming in back into the ballgame for Los Alamos is Gigi Romero. She's going to replace Abby Martinez. Emma Raven back into the ballgame for Los Alamos, and along with Michelle Macias. Reagan Morris is going to bring it out to, and so Reagan bounces it over on the other side to Marisol Valdez. Valdez back to Reagan. So now they're running a weave, and the Hilltoppers right now still in that girl-to-girl defense. So Bree Road has them in a weave, but the weave is not penetrating anywhere. The Hilltoppers are doing a good job of keeping him out, and now penetrating right down the middle and getting by everybody, and that's Catalina Anaya, and she's fouled as she goes up. And we'll see, he's going to pick up that personal, and that's going to be, let's see, none other than using my good buddy Tomas's philosophy or strategy. Anyway, that personal foul is going to go to Lena Chavez. That's going to be, let's see, no, she's not going to, the personal foul went to Lena, but it was a foul on the floor, they say. So they get it now over to and the shot taken from outside by the Sartans, and that's good for three. And I didn't see who made the three, so we'll have to see if we can pick that up later. I'm not sure. Anyway, right now it's 18-13 in favor of Pius, and Michelle Macias fouled in the act of shooting, so Michelle now will go to the free throw line, and this one is going to be off to the side. So Michelle will shoot one more. That personal foul. So that is the third team foul on Pius so far. And so Michelle still at the free throw line, shooting the second of two. This one good. And nothing but net on the second one. Makes it 440 with 440 to go. 18-14, 4-point lead for Pius. Pius had jumped out to a pretty good lead, but they've slowed way down. But the Hilltoppers haven't been able to take much advantage of it. Bella Candelaria starts to dribble in, and then comes out she loses the handle, flips it out over to Reagan Morris. Morris trying to keep her from going over the half court line. She steps on the timeline, so that's a backcourt violation. 4:21 to go in the first half. They bring it in now to Sofia Trujillo. Trujillo across the timeline for Los Alamos, still on the dribble, brings it to Carly Holland. Holland all the way out near the half court line. And so they're really pushed out to the half court line. Now they get it to Gigi Romero. Romero wide open. I thought she was going to take the three, but she gets it over in the corner to Michelle Macias. Her shot is off. And then the rebound is going to go out of bounds off of Emma Raven. 4-point lead for Pius, 18-14. With 3:57 remaining here in the first half. And walking it up the floor. And across the timeline comes Alyssa Mays. Now she's just going to hand the ball over. This time they're going to hand it over to Illy Gonzalez. Gonzalez is in the thing and setting a screen this time, and then called for the blocking foul, and that's going to be Desiree Ortiz, and that's going to be Desiree's first personal and the fourth team foul. But leveled one of the Hilltopper girls. Pass underneath by Emma Raven is picked off, and Sarton start to head down the floor and decide better of that. A little 15-foot shot from the free throw line by Alyssa Mays. Rebound comes down to Illy Gonzalez. Gonzalez gets it back to Alyssa. Alyssa brings it on the baseline, cutting down the baseline. Nice move down the baseline, lays it in off the glass. That's Bella Candelaria, and Bella gets two. She gets two, and she will go to the free throw lines and try to convert the 3-point play. And that personal foul, let's see, is going to go to, that is the fourth team foul on Los Alamos. No, it should be more than that. They still haven't put up who the foul was on. But anyway, trying to figure that one out. So at the free throw line right now is Bella Candelaria trying to complete the 3-point play. So Bella Shot goes up and in, so picks up 5 points right now. It's a 6-point lead once again for Pius. They bring it up to Kenya Macias, up the floor to Gigi Holland. Gigi starts to go with a three. She was wide open. Why she didn't take it, I don't know. She's a good 3-point shooter. On the dribble, pass almost picked off. Boy, I mean, right there was Bella Candelaria. They get it over onto the left side. Shot taken by Kenya Macias is off. But Gigi Holland with a rebound. Her putback is off. Ball going out of bounds, trying to save it back in was Kenya. But Macias could not save it back in. It's going to be out of bounds under the Hilltopper basket. It'll be inbounded by the Sartans at that point. No press being put on by Los Alamos. So I'm looking at our brand new scoreboard, and they show the number of points right now. They only show the 5 players that are on the floor. We have a brand new fancy scoreboard, puts up the team, the player's number and their score and how many fouls they got. And now while I'm blabbing, taking it to the hole in a hurry was Bella Candelaria. And so she has all the points in this quarter. She has 7 points in the quarter. And so she has them. Well, oh yeah, and I missed one, a basket. So anyway, so right now the lead for St. Pius goes to 23-14, a 9-point lead. So jumping up in a hurry and taking a 30-second timeout is Ray Romero of the Hilltoppers. So he has 4 left, and Jude Road, who's burned 2 in the first quarter, she has a 30 and 2 full, but all of that is not very significant at this point. And save those for the end of the game most of the time, but when you need the timeout, you need the timeout. So 23-14, a 9-point lead right now for St. Pius with 2:13 remaining here in the first half of play. And the Hilltoppers will inbound it in the front court, right in front of the Hilltopper bench, as they are in the back court. Let me correct that. And they'll bring it across over into Sophia Trujillo. Trujillo down low to Gigi Romero, Gigi underneath. Gets it to Sophia. Sophia tries to make a spin move down the baseline, dribbles it off her leg. And let's see, Sophia will check out of the ball game. Caitlin Boardi comes in for Los Alamos, along with Alyssa Garcia. And so just walking it up the floor, Bella Candelaria, in no hurry, gets it to Alyssa Mays. Mays at the top of the key and trying to get it under. She had 2 girls open on the baseline, and so she put a pass right between both of them. So she had them both bracketed anyway. Minute 45 to go here in the first half. Hilltoppers down by 9, 23-14, and they will bring it into Gigi Romero. Romero back to Caitlin Bolardi. Bolardi long pass down the floor to Kenya Macias, and back out on top to Caitlin. Bolardi on the dribble. We'll bring it to Carly Holland. Holland, top of the key, picks up her dribble, brings it over onto the left wing. Carly passes up a 3-point shot. She's a good 3-point shooter. I don't understand. And the Hilltoppers having a lot of trouble penetrating the the Sartan zone. And so now the ball is going to be knocked out of bounds by the Sartans. Just getting a finger on there was Alyssa Mays. And so we have some substitutions for Pius here. The Hilltoppers will inbound it right in front of the Pius bench. They'll hand the ball to Caitlin Bolardi. Bolardi over inside. Well, the pass came inside to Carly Holland, but the Major telegraphed the pass, and the ball was stolen away by Alyssa Mays. But then Carly Holland hustling was able to get back and grab a hold of the ball, and then Alyssa trying to keep she didn't want to lose it once she stole it, but she picks up the personal, and that's going to be her first, and that is now the 16th foul on Pius. Hilltoppers having a lot of trouble. Carly Holland in the backcourt finally is able to get it across. Comes out of Daylin Rodriguez. Nice move down the baseline. Nobody on the baseline. She had a wide open baseline, so Daylin just took it in and laid it off the glass. Doesn't get any easier than that, I guarantee you. So See, Alyssa Mays has to check out of the ball game. I'm not sure that they are tending to her, so I'm not sure exactly what it was. I think I'm not sure what it is, but she's holding her arm, so she's come out of the ball game. They get it underneath, trying to get it underneath to Desiree Ortiz coming down the baseline on the left side that time, and that was Illy Gonzalez, and Gonzalez made a nice little dish off pass to, but the bill. Well, we're gonna have a reach-in foul go to Los Alamos. That is the 6th team foul on the Hilltoppers, as a personal foul went to Kenya Macias. Everybody lined up to shoot a 1-and-1, and then Maury Pongress announces over the PA. So it's a good thing we had Maury here. So get everybody squared away that it's not a 1-and-1. On the dribble, Catalina Anaya out on top to Alyssa Mays. We have under 30 seconds to go in this first half, 23-16. Get it now to Catalina Anaya. Anaya over in the corner to Marisol Valdez underneath. Wide open, puts the shot up, rolls around. Now shot by Catalina, by Anaya, rolls around, comes right down to Desiree Ortiz, and Desiree lays it in for her first 2 points of the ball game. So the Hilltoppers coming down the floor, working against the press, and they lose it out of bounds. So we have 6 seconds to go. And so we're going to have a 30-second timeout taken by Bree. So she has no more 30s, and she's going to set up a 6-second play. So I guess 25-16, she's up by 9. I'm surprised that she's going to burn a timeout for this, but she's now drawing up a 6-second magical play for Pius. They're going to score or else here at the end of this first half, leading right now by 9. So we'll see what Bree is drawn up here for her Sarton girls. And, well, she took a full timeout. I thought she took a 30. But no, she took a full, boys. That's got to be one complicated play, I must say. So she's drawing up, but this should be a good one. So for the Hilltoppers right now, as Gigi Romero opened things up for the Hilltoppers, and Gigi with starting things off, and Gigi with 9 points in that first quarter, and then Gigi ends up with no points in the second quarter. And now the timeout is out, and now okay, let's see what Bree has come up with. It's had 60 seconds to do it. So they bring it inside. They're going to get it out on, and penetrating, and a 3-point shot from the left wing by Alyssa Mays, and that's off. So she gambled with 60 seconds and she lost in a way. So anyway, but they lead 25-16 as the Hilltoppers came up with 6 points in that second quarter and 12 points for the Sartons. So after one half of play, right now it's 25-16 in favor of the Sartons. And so I need to catch up on my scoring. So I'm going to send it back to Charlene for a little bit. And Charlene, why don't you tell them all about our fine sponsors, the police department and fire department. We certainly do appreciate their support, and I'll be back.
Hello, I'm Commander Oliver Morris with the Los Alamos Police Department. It's an exciting time to live in Los Alamos. With the increase in hiring at the lab, we've seen more motorists and visitors come to Los Alamos. But with that, we've also seen an increase in traffic. And with traffic, we also get calls of distracted driving, speeding, and sometimes aggressive driving. Please join me in reducing these calls. Our officers are going to be out in force looking for these types of driving behavior. If you see something, please call us at our non-emergency line or our emergency line. We appreciate your partnership in helping keep our community safe, and thank you.
Hi, I'm Troy Hughes with Los Alamos Fire Department, reminding you that fall's upon us and winter's soon coming, so we'll start using our appliances more, like our furnace, our fireplaces. Make sure you get those appliances checked by a certified technician, especially the fireplaces. Make sure you've got a good chimney sweep, get that thing good and clean and ready to burn, and make sure you have a good working CO detector and smoke alarm in your home if you're going to use those appliances.
Okay, we are back. And right now the score after one half of play is St. Pius 25, the Hilltoppers 16. And looking at the scoring situation for St. Pius, they have three girls, all with 7 points apiece. That's Bella Candelaria, who made all 7 in the second quarter. Hilly Gonzalez has 2 3-pointers. She has 7. Alyssa Mays also has 7. And they are followed by Catalina Anaya and Desiree Ortiz with 2 each. For the Hilltoppers, their leading scorer was Gigi Romero at 9 points in the first quarter, and then 2 for Daylin Rodriguez, 2 for Caitlin Velarde, and then 1 each for Abby Martinez and Michelle Macias. So the Sartans put up 9 field goals in that first half. 3 of those were 3-pointers. They were 4 of 5 from the free throw line. The Hilltoppers only had 5 field goals in that first half. 1 of those was a 3-pointer, and they were 5 of 8 from the free throw line. The Hilltoppers trailed 16-13 or 13-10 at the end of the first quarter. We're outscored 12-6 in the second quarter, and so right now the lead is 9 for the Lady Sartans. 6 team fouls were called on each team, and like I say, that they had 1 foul, and so everybody lined up on the free throw line. Everybody got ready. The referees, everybody. They were about to shoot the 1-and-1 when Maury Pongratz, our PA announcer. It was a good thing Maury was here, because Maury put everybody back on the straight and narrow. There was only 6 team fouls. So he announced that a couple of times, and so that did it. So everybody had to break off, and they had to throw the ball in, and so they threw the ball in and shot a 3. So that kind of worked out for them, I'd say. Anyway, we have a minute 25 to go here before we're going to start things off here in this second half of play. And let's see what Ray Romero has come up with here. That technical foul, by the way, was Bella Candelaria. Bella Candelaria I had her down when I said at the beginning of the ball game. I said, I'm not sure if Bella is here because she wasn't in the book. But I had her on my Max Preps roster, so I already had her on the roster on my score sheet. But they finally found out that Bella wasn't. After Bella came in the ball game, they finally figured out that she's not in the book. So that was the reason for the technical foul. So the 1, 2, 3. So they actually had 5 team. They actually had 5 team fouls plus the T. So that was the 6. Hilltoppers had 6 team fouls, but St. Pius with 5 actual team fouls and then the T. Of course, the T counts as a team foul. And so we're cranking down now, and St. Pius will start things off to start this second half of play, and the ball will go right now to Alyssa Mays, and Mays will waiting to take the inbound passes Marisol Valdez, and that's exactly what we do. So Marisol brings it over just to the right of the key. Now she's going to bring it out of the top of the key to Alyssa. Mays on the dribble is going to bring it back to Marisol. Marisol down in the corner gets it over to Reagan Morris. So right now they're working at Hilltoppers now are still in that girl-to-girl defense. So Ray Romero likes that. He started off with a matchup zone, and now he switched over in the second quarter to a girl-to-girl defense, and he's still in that girl-to-girl defense. So Reagan Morris is having a lot of trouble penetrating this girl-to-girl defense, I'm telling you. And so they can bring it over onto the corner, into the left side to Alyssa Mays. And Mays puts the ball on the floor, hands it over now and Alyssa still with it. I thought she was going to flip it over to Marisol Valdez, but she's still on a dribble. And so dribbles up to the free throw line. This is over to Reagan Morris. Morris trying to go down the baseline, cut off by the Hilltoppers. And now the Hilltoppers have switched into a matchup zone. Well, that was quick. And so Alyssa Mays bringing it down, comes down the baseline, puts a shot up. It's short. Rebound comes down to Gigi Romero. So they started off in a girl-to-girl defense, and then somehow, I don't know what Bray did, but they suddenly switched into a matchup zone. So impressive. So the pass from Carly Holland down to the right wing is knocked out of bounds. Alyssa Mays right there for the Sartans. So the Hilltoppers will inbound it right in front of the Hilltopper bench. Now they bring it out to Carly Holland. Holland will get it to Lena Chavez into Emma Raven, holding the ball high above her head. Emma towering over everybody right now on the Pius team, coming down the left sideline and putting up a wild left-handed hook shot, and that was Abby Martinez. She actually went out of bounds, came back in. I didn't think she made it back in, but she did come back in, and she got her own rebound. And so they get the ball now to Illy Gonzalez. Gonzalez trying to make a little spin move in traffic, has the ball stolen away from her. And it comes to Abby Martinez. She takes it all the way to the hole. Reagan Morris was right there. Reagan just let her go. Reagan didn't even try to block it. And Abby misses the free throw. Misses the layup. And so the ball now goes out of bounds off of the Hilltopper, and now checks out of the ball game with 5:45 to go here in this third quarter. Still a 25-16 ball game. That's what it was at half. So working it around once again, working against that matchup zone of the Hilltoppers. Comes to the baseline. They bring it up to the left wing. Marisol Valdez on the dribbles to the top of the key, hands it to Reagan Morris. Morris now will bring it over onto the left side. So they're just kind of weaving around the 3-point line, not able to really get anywhere. No penetration. And so far, the Hilltopper defense doing a good job as they bring Marisol Valdez. She's going to dribble to the top of the key, hand it to Alyssa Mays. Of course, the Pius, I'm sure, is no hurry, leading by 9 right now. Boy, nice penetration. And now they finally bring it over onto the corner on the right side. That shot is off. Gigi Romero picks up the rebound, gets it to Abby Martinez. Abby starts to take the hole, gets away with a walk, gets it back out to Gigi. Gigi's three-pointer is off. Long rebound comes down to the Sartans. Down the floor in a hurry comes Marisol Valdez. Boy, I thought there was all kinds of traffic there. The Hilltoppers, I thought she was going to crash into all of them. And boy, whoa, battle on the floor for the ball. I'm telling you, that a couple of toughies out there going at it. So 25-16, the alternating possession will go now to Los Alamos on the held ball. But boy, those two girls were bounded. One of them, East, was bound and determined to get that one. No score in the ball game so far, and we've got 3.5 minutes gone here in this third quarter. So both teams coming out flat. A lot of times the team will come out flat, and so now the ball rolls right by me here. So the ball knocked out of bounds by the Hilltoppers. So Bella Candelaria will inbound it, and she'll bring it into Marisol Valdez. Valdez dribbles to the left wing, and right now she's trying to pick up her dribble, but right there trying to reach in and steal it away with Sofia Trujillo, and the two of them go down and roll out of bounds, and they're going to call Sofia for being the first violator of the sideline. 4 minutes to go. Still 25-16. Nobody has scored in this third quarter. Catalina Naya gets it over to Bella Candelaria. Candelaria in the corner on the right side tries to dribble out of the corner and dribbles off her leg out of bounds. Full court press once again. 2-2-1 press, 3-quarter zone press for St. Pius. Hilltopper still in the backcourt. They bring it up to Gigi Romero, who brings it across easily, and Gigi's going to take it all the way and put it in. So Gigi just saw the open lane, and she just took off and went flying right down the middle. Puts it in, makes it now 25-18. So the Hilltoppers haven't had a whole lot of press trouble with the press. They have had a couple of turnovers forced, but shot from outside is off. Rebound comes down to the Hilltoppers, and triple teamed right away was Alyssa Garcia. She outlets it quickly to Gigi Romero. I thought Gigi was going to take it to the hole once again. Boy, great rebound in there by Michelle Macias. Boy, she was in all kinds of traffic, and then right next to Desiree Ortiz, who's about the same height And but boy, I tell you, Michelle was bound and determined to stay with it, and so she did. And so she goes up, and Desiree picks up the personal. And well, I had her for 2. They still have her for 2. I checked the book, and the book said 2, but they still have 2. But she actually has 3. So anyway, but that's the first team foul. And Michelle Macias at the free throw line, and this one, and she drops in the first. Second one rims around and comes out. So Michelle 1 for 2 from the free throw line, and a pass down the floor by Pius, and they throw it away, trying to heave it down to half court. Ball goes wide, so the Hilltoppers will inbound it to half court, and Pius has not scored in this quarter as yet, and we have 5 minutes gone. The Hilltoppers bring it into the back court, and they're going to get it right now to Sophia Trujillo. Trujillo trying to get it inside, as the ball knocked away. And so the ball is going to be knocked out of bounds by Bella Candelaria. So they had Carly Holland backed up against the line. So they knocked the ball away. Carly now sits down. It's going to come out. Now they're going to get it to Sophia Trujillo. And the 5'4" freshman in the free throw circle, or in the half court circle. And Sophia goes down as she makes a pass. Her pass is picked off. Nice fast break run by the Sartans. Only trouble was they had a beautiful 2-on-1 coming. They actually had a 3-on-1, but it developed into a really nice 2-on-1. The only problem was that the girl coming down the left side decided to do it all when the girl on the right side was wide open. But that's the way it goes. 2:34 to go, first in the third quarter. Still a 25 points for Pius. That's what they had at the half. So the pass inside and trying to get pick the pass off, and looked like she had a good try at it, and she's going to be called for the foul, and that was not a foul. I mean, she just stepped in front and intercepted that pass, but they're going to give it to Michelle Macias. That's going to be, and they only have her for 1. That's her second. And I checked the book at halftime. And so anyway, I don't know what's going on. So I guess I'm not going to say anything. Pass underneath to the Sarton down on the baseline, going down on the floor is Marisol Valdez, but she's going to be fouled. And let's see who picks up that personal. I think it's going to be Alyssa Garcia. And let's see, that's exactly who it is. And she has 1. That's what I have. Amazing. We agree. Okay, long pass comes out on top. You get it to Illy Gonzalez. Gonzalez is going to hand it over to Alyssa Mays. Mays is going to try to penetrate down. She was cut off by Abby Martinez. Abby actually bumped her. That should have been a foul. Was not called, so they're going to get it now to Bella Candelaria. She's in the half-court circle. Bring it over onto the right wing. Nice penetration to the right wing. Bella Catalina and I going to the lane, had a nice drive down the lane, and so she loses a handle, and she gets it over to Marisol Valdez, who was in the corner inside the 3-point line, and she drops it in for 2. Hilltoppers get it underneath right now to Kenya Macias. Macias tries a little hook shot right in front of the basket in the lane, and that's not good. And a long pass down the floor to a wide open Illy Gonzalez, and Illy misses an easy layup. Comes now to Gigi Romero. She's going to bring it off the glass, as she had a little short jump shot. That one is off, and so now they battle for the ball's on the floor. You know, one of those ones where scramble on the floor. So the first coach to jump up and holler timeout gets it. That's what killed me. The referee don't worry about who's got possession or anything. The ball's rolling around, neither team has possession, but as soon as a team jumps up and hollers timeout, they get the timeout and they get the ball. So a 30-second timeout taken by Ray Romero, and so he has 3 full left in this ball game as we're sitting here a little over a minute to go here in the third quarter. the scoreboard clock uses the time, also is used for the timeout clock. So that's run out. Minute 13 is, and right now it's 27-19. It was 25-16. So the Hilltoppers have come up with 3 points, and the Sartans have come up with 2. And the Hilltoppers will inbound under their own basket, baseline right. Gigi Romero. And get it to Gigi Romero. Gigi's going to put the shot up off the glass. That rims around and comes off. Rebound comes down. They'll get it now to Alyssa Mays. And Alyssa will just walk up, and she's in no hurry. Looks like they're going to go for 1. So that is the strategy right now, at least. At least nobody's showing any signs of trying to go to the basket. But they will take the opportunity if they have it. Now the ball on the hip. And bring it over now to Alyssa Mays. And Mays starts to penetrate in. She is cut off. Nice defense that time by Kenya Macias. 3-point shot taken from the right corner. That is an air ball. So they wanted to go for 1, but didn't have the patience to wait. Put up the 3-point air ball, so that makes it with 28 seconds to go in the third quarter. It's 27-19. Full court press by the Sartans. Bring it up to Carly Holland. Holland up to Gigi Romero. She had Daylin Rodriguez open down the floor, but did not get it to her. Carly Holland takes the ball, and now she's in the half-court circle. She's on the dribble, and she gets a screen from Gigi Romero. Carly puts up the 3. Boy, comes around the screen and pops the 3-pointer. Nice-looking 3 from Carly Holland, and that makes it 27-22. So the Hilltoppers got the 9-point lead at half, down to 4 points after 3 quarters of play. So, and let's see, it's going to be easy for Pius. They came up with 2 points. That was from Marisol Valdez, and that was the only field goal of the quarter for them. And of course, no 3-pointers. And of course, they did not shoot a free throw. So they just came up with 2 points, and that was it. So right now it's 22 for Los Alamos as they came up with 6, and 27 for Pius as they came up with 2 points in that quarter. So the Hilltoppers close it up by 4 points as the Hilltoppers came up with 3 field goals, and one of those, or two field goals, let me correct that. 2 field goals. One of those was a 3-pointer, and they were 1 for 2 from the free throw line. So we'll see what happens here. Let's see. I think to start the fourth quarter, I think it's going to be Topper ball, I do believe. They used to tell us that on the scoreboard, but they don't tell us that anymore. And it is going to be Topper ball. Caitlin Velarde will take the ball from the official, and in it will come to Sofia Trujillo. Trujillo signaling play number 1. So here we go. So he dribbles to the right of the key, picks up her dribble, gets it to Daylin Rodriguez. So play number 1, I don't think developed. Get it to Sofia again, and right now a trapping defense momentarily by Pius. Now they drop back into a zone. Carly Holland starts to take the 3, gets it to Gigi Romero. She gets away with a walk. She actually got away with a New Mexico shuffle, in which she actually did walk. Unbelievable. So ball's going to come out on top now to Sofia Trujillo. She's going to left-handed pass across to Daylin Rodriguez. So the Hilltoppers now not penetrating anywhere either. Now they bounce it inside, trying to go to the basket. Gigi Romero, she flips it out on the outside. So Carly Holland right there on a missed shot, and Carly's able to grab it and put it back in for 2. That gives Carly now 6 points in the ball game, makes it 24 to. It's now 27-24. Hilltoppers closes with 3-point shot from way out, taken by Alyssa Mays. He comes down to Gigi Romero. She dribbles into across the timeline into a trap, but she's able to get rid of the ball easily. Ball knocked away from behind as coming down the baseline that time was Caitlin Velarde, and the ball was knocked away from behind. And now they're going to call Daylin for trying to get the ball back. So Daylin is going to pick up the personal, and that's her first personal, and that is the fourth team foul on Los Alamos. So the Alyssa Mays on a dribbles between her legs and still on a dribble, goes down to the left wing, picks up her dribble and comes around. 3-point ball game right now, 27-24, as the Hilltoppers have held St. Pius to only 2 points in this half. They led 25 to 16 at the half. And right now it's 27-24. So Alyssa Mays is going to try to take it to the hole, and she loses a handle, and the loose ball picked up by Gigi Romero. Romero bounces it up to Sofia Trujillo across the timeline. Hilltoppers only down by 3 with 5.5 minutes to go. Pass over in the corner. 3-point shot by Caitlin Velarde, and we're all tied up. Caitlin Velarde with a beautiful 3-pointer from the deep corner on the left side. It's 27-27. 5:20 to go here in this ballgame. The Hilltoppers still have shut down the Pius. Alyssa Mays taking it to the hole and puts up a left-handed shot. It's short, and the rebound knocked out of bounds by the Sartans. So the Hilltoppers will inbound it. They'll work against the press once again. Full court press for St. Pius. A 2-2-1. Inside it comes. They're going to bring it up now to Daylin Rodriguez, up to Carly Holland. Holland wide open. Starts to go to the hole, but I thought she was going to go to the left. She decided to go to the right. The left was open, but bad call. She was tied up immediately as she started to go. Was it by Desiree Ortiz? And that's her third personal. No, that was Desiree just reached out and grabbed the ball. That's a bad call. That's only the second team foul on Pius, but boy, that was good defense by Desiree. 27-27, all tied up here. Gigi Romero, top of the key. Going to get it over to Daylin Rodriguez, 3-point shot. That's going to be off, and hits the side of the backboard and goes out of bounds. So, let's see. I thought Ray Romero was going to call a timeout. He decides not to. They bring it. Well, they're going to say it was out of bounds off of Pius. I don't understand that one. Pius I guess that's why it hit the side of the backboard. It must have been deflected. A 2-on-1 fast break, and the Hilltoppers, they have a little trouble developing him, and they get it now to Gigi Romero. Romero almost has the ball stolen away. The Hilltoppers run their own fast break. Beautiful. Boy, you don't run it any better than that. That is textbook, absolute textbook that time as Abby Martinez comes up with 2, and that makes it now a 30 to. Well, they gave her 3 points for a layup, but anyway, it's I do believe it should be. No, I'm not sure what's going on. They gave 2 points. They gave 2 points to Pius and 3 points to us. Okay. I've never been so confused. So the official now is going to go over to the scorer's table. Boy, that was one heck of a basket by Abby Martinez. Scored 5 points. Now they're still fooling around. Yeah, okay, it's 29-27, which is what it should have been in the first place. So far right now, Pius has still only scored 2 points in this half, and we're halfway through. So quarter and a half of basketball, and Pius has only scored 2 points. They bring it in now and trying to get the shot off this time is going to take it to the hole. Marisol Valdez has her shot blocked. Carly Holland goes up, fakes the shot, and she's fouled in the act of shooting. Boy, she faked it, and then she went up after the fake, and she draws the foul off of Alyssa Mays, and that should be Alyssa's second personal, and it is Carly Holland, good free throw shooter at the line for Los Alamos. And she drops in the first. Carly picks up her 6 point in the ball game, but more importantly, right now, the Hilltoppers take a 3-point lead. They have a chance for a 4-point lead as they have held Pius to 2 points in this entire second half. And she puts in the second one, 7 points right now, and it's a 4-point lead for Los Alamos. It was 25-16 at the half. It's right now 31-27. And finally, it was a nice move to the basket that time. Beautiful move, boy. And putting it up with the left hand was Catalina Anaya. That thing came off the glass, perfect layup, rolled around the rim and came off. I could not believe it. So they try to get it inside now to Desiree Ortiz. Ball knocked away. Hilltoppers with a 4-on-1. And so Carly Holland just takes it herself all the way. It had a 4-on-1, and Carly didn't pass it off. Tried to shoot a left-handed shot, and she had 3 other girls wide open. So now we're going to have Ray Romero call a timeout with 3:11 to go, and he's going to take a full timeout. So he now has 2 full timeouts left, and well, they're showing that he has two fulls, and right now the Bree Road of the Sartans, she has 1 full and 1:30. She burned two timeouts in the first quarter, but and then she burned that timeout at the end of the half with 6 seconds to go. So 31-27. So it's kind of interesting right now. So for right now, the Hilltoppers have 7 field goals through 3 quarters. They have 7 field goals, and 2 of those are 3-pointers. And they are 6 for 10 from the free throw line. That's through 3 quarters. That doesn't count the fourth quarter. And for the Sartans, they have 10 field goals, and 10 field goals, and they have 3 3-pointers, and they are 4 or 5 from the free throw line, and they have not shot a free throw here in the second half. 31-27. 4-point ball game. So the Hilltoppers, coming from back behind by 9, have taken a 4-point lead. The timeout. We'll see what Ray Romero is going to do. Is he going to try to go to 4 corners? Well, he certainly is. They've come out. The Hilltoppers are going to try to run the clock. And that's dangerous, very dangerous. So motion offense like crazy for Los Alamos. Girls running everywhere as they're going to try to keep the ball against Carly Holland. So just the girls are just running, passing, running down the baseline, returning around. So everybody has a certain route that they take. And the Hilltoppers now burned away almost 30 seconds of time. Carly Holland gets it over now to Sophia Trujillo down in the corner. Sophia's going to dribble it out on top, and all over her that time was Marisol Valdez trying to steal it away. Daylin Rodriguez with it for Los Alamos, and she's going to bounce it over to Gigi Romero as Ray Romero is going to try to run out the clock here. And so right now this situation for Pius is, and Desiree Ortiz is going to pick up her 4th personal foul, and that's only the 3rd team foul. So I'm just going to say the situation for Pius is this: if they want to put the Hilltoppers on the line to shoot a 1-and-1, they're going to have to foul 4 more times. So I would think that's what they want to do. So they bring it inside now. They're going to get it to Abby Martinez. Abby on the dribble gets to Gigi Romero. Gigi, the best ball handler on the team next to Carly. And now we're going to have a personal foul go to Alyssa Mays for the reach-in foul. That's going to be Alyssa's, that should be her 2nd, or 3rd, actually. That's her 3rd, and that is now the 15th, should be the 5th team foul. No, it's the 4th team foul, sorry. Ball is knocked out of bounds. And we're going to have a timeout taken by Ray Romero. So he'll take a full. That's all he's got. He has 1 full left. And the Hilltoppers about 2 minutes to go in this ball game. But Pius stuck in that situation. They have 4 team fouls. So unless they can steal it away, they're going to have to foul, and they're going to have to foul 4 more times. Let's see, 3 more times to get the Hilltoppers to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. 1 field goal in this third quarter by Marisol Valdez for St. Pius in this entire second half, and that's been it. So the Hilltopper defense has just kept them out. They really have done a great job. There's a lot of penetration by Pius earlier in the game, but that penetration has been cut off. So good defense here by the Hilltoppers. It really has been great defense, and that defense has brought them back into this ball game. And so, and right now, looking at the scoring, the Abby Martinez has 3, Gigi Romero with 11, 2 points for Daylin Rodriguez, and let's see, 2 points for Michelle Macias, and 5 points at the moment. So Hilltoppers are going to inbound it. They bring it in. They try to get it down on the baseline, knocked out of bounds by Pius. Minute 55 to go. Pius held to 2 points so far in a half. The Hilltoppers are going to try to run the table here, and they get the ball now into Abby Martinez. Martinez is going to bounce it underneath to Daylin Rodriguez, who's wide open. Nobody picks up Daylin. She now has 4 points in the ballgame. The Hilltoppers go up by 6. And she was just standing on the right side of the lane. Nobody picked her up. Ball comes to Gigi. The ball is knocked away. It comes to Gigi Romero. Knocked away from Gigi. And then picked up by the Hilltoppers again. So they finally get it now to Carly Holland. Holland now brings it over to Gigi. 6-point lead for Los Alamos. They bring it to Daylin Rodriguez. Right, that Daylin, the Pius is going to have to foul. Carly Holland takes it down the lane, puts it up. I'm not sure why they're shooting, but Carly puts it up, and she puts up an air ball, which comes right to Gigi Martinez. Her putback is an air ball, and then lost out of bounds by the Hilltoppers. So the Hilltoppers have done a good job of keeping the ball away, and there's only 4 team fouls. The Pius only has 14, or the Hilltoppers have 5 team fouls. I'm sorry, so they're going to have to foul 2 more times, and which I don't understand why they're not doing. Alyssa Mays is going to take it right down Broadway, and she's going to. We have a major collision this time, and Alyssa goes down. I can't believe they're going to call a shooting foul, but that is the 6th team foul. On Los Alamos. So Alyssa Mays is at the line. That is the 6th team foul on the Hilltoppers. That personal foul went to this time to Daylin Rodriguez, her 2nd. And so Alyssa Mays at the free throw line. So she puts in the first of 2. And I can't believe they gave her a shot because she just crashed down the middle of Broadway and then crashed right into Daylin. And she puts in the 2nd one. So she puts in both of them, makes it now 33-29. Long pass down the floor, ill-advised. Not the kind of pass they want to throw. Long pass, baseball pass that's easily picked off by Catalina Anaya. Anaya is going to hand it to Alyssa Mays. And Mays is going to go onto the baseline. 3-point shot on the way. That's going to be short. Rebound is going to come down to, well, it started to come down to Carly Hall and knocked away from Carly. Alyssa Mays, 3-point shot off the glass and in. So Alyssa Mays gets the loose ball, picks it up. Hilltoppers had it momentarily. She picks up the loose ball and she pops it off the glass and in to make it a 1-point ball game, 33-32. And so right now we have a timeout on the floor, and that's taken. Let's see, that one is going to be, let's see who took that. Let's see, and we're going to find, okay, that one is taken by St. Pius. So Bree Road takes up. So she now has she has 1 30-second timeout left, and there's 44 seconds remaining here in this ball game. So the Hilltoppers, they took some ill-advised shots under the basket, and then they tried to baseball it down against the press. And that was ill-advised. That was picked off by Catalina Anaya. They got the ball up. They moved it. Pius trying to get it to the hole. They put a shot up that was missed. And then there was a battle for the rebound. Hilltoppers had it. It was knocked away from the Hilltoppers, came right to Alyssa Mays over on the left wing, and she banged it off the glass and in. So right now, 33-32, 1-point ball game, and 44 seconds to go. And right now the situation for for Pius is, well, they say the Hilltoppers have 16 fouls and Pius has 4. So as I keep saying, Pius is they're going to have to keep fouling. And of course, I don't know, they're running out of time to get to that 7th team foul. The Hilltoppers shoot at 1-1. So the Hilltoppers trying to get it in. They finally do get it in. Daylin Rodriguez comes up to Carly Holland as Alyssa Mays trying to cut her off and bangs into her. But that's only the 15th foul right now on the Sartans. So they've got 2 more to give, and there's 40 seconds left. Comes now, they bounce it over now to Daylin Rodriguez. Get it to Sofia Trujillo. Sofia's fouled from behind, and so that's going to make it the 16th foul. So now the next foul by Pius will put the Hilltoppers on the free throw line with 35.7 seconds to go. 1 timeout remains for Ray Romero right now. Hilltoppers trying to get the ball in. Daylin Rodriguez gets it inside to Gigi Romero. Ray Romero worried it was taking too much time, so he calls his final timeout. So his timeouts are gone, and Bree Road of St. Pius has 1. So right now it's a 1-point ball game as the Hilltoppers had held Pius to only one field goal in almost in something like 10 minutes of even more than that. So even more than that, actually, about 14 minutes actually of the second half. And then finally 2 free throws for Alyssa Mays, and which I couldn't believe they gave her a shooting foul, because all she did was she went right straight down the middle of the lane and crashed into I think it was Daylin Rodriguez. But anyway, but then she gets that 3 off the glass and in after a battle for the loose ball. And so now, and she's sitting right now with 12 points in the ball game. It's a 1-point ball game, and the Hilltoppers up, and we're down. Let's see what we're down to here in 35.7 seconds, and the Hilltoppers Pius is certainly going to foul as quick as they can, but they steal the ball away. They intercept the inbound pass. They have the ball now with 30 seconds to go. They're going to get it over right now to Marisol Valdez. Valdez will bring it over to Catalina Anaya. Anaya picks up her dribble. She'll bring it out on top to Bella Candelaria. And so we're going to finally have a 30-second timeout taken by Pius. And that's their final timeout. And there are 18.9 seconds remaining. So Pius is in a situation where if Los Alamos doesn't foul them, they're either going to win this ball game or they're going to lose by 1 or 2. They're going to lose by 1, or they're going to win it by 1 or 2. So right now, 32-33, crazy. It was 25-16 at half. Hilltoppers closed it to 27-22, and then finally took the lead in the fourth quarter and led most of the fourth quarter. Actually built up a 6-point lead. But then Alyssa Mays kind of single-handedly came back as she took the ball down the middle of the lane. I thought it was just simply a charge, but a blocking foul. But they gave her 2 shots, which she made, and then a 3-pointer off the glass and in. 18.9 seconds to go. So here we go. Pius will inbound it. Marisol Valdez. She's going to bring it inside to Alyssa Mays in the corner on the right side. Alyssa starts to dribble, gets away with the walk, hands it over to Alyssa underneath, and the ball underneath as they were trying to get it underneath to Catalina Anaya, and knocked away by the Hilltoppers and off of Catalina. 10 seconds to go. The Hilltoppers will inbound it under the Sarton basket. They're trying to get it in and have a lot of trouble getting it in, and it's stolen away. And putting the shot up, the shot is off. Rebound comes down to Carly Holland. Holland down the floor with 2 seconds to go. And the ball is going to be knocked away from behind by Alyssa Mays. And so 2.3 seconds remaining. There are no timeouts. So we're going to have we are going to have a reach-in foul go to one of the Sartans, and that one is going to go to Alyssa Mays. And they say that's her fifth personal. I only got her for 4. I'm having trouble keeping up with the foul situation here. But Carly Holland is at the free throw line with 2.3 seconds to go, and she has 2 shots. Good 3 points, good free throw shooter for Los Alamos. This one is it was a 1-and-1. It was off the front of the rim. Pius with the rebound, but the Hilltoppers hang on to win this ball game 33-32. Unbelievable. And the Pius, who came roaring behind, they were down by 6. They came roaring behind Alyssa Mays, and able to cut it to a 1-point ball game. And then after the Hilltoppers got it after the Hilltoppers were going to inbound it under the Pius basket, it was actually picked up by Pius, but then Pius couldn't hang on and loses the ball out of bounds. So the Hilltopper was able to get it up the floor to Carly Holland. She was fouled. Carly goes up for the 1-and-1, misses the front end of the 1-and-1, which actually was probably a good thing. Well, it really doesn't even make a whole lot of difference, but at least missing the front end of the 1-and-1, then the ball, as soon as it's touched by anybody, the clock starts, and then they have 2 seconds to get down the floor, the length of the floor. And I don't think you're going to see very many girls do that, but the Hilltoppers pull it off. So the Hilltoppers now go to 9-7 on the season, and Pius now drops to 5-8 on the season. But a crazy ball game as St. Pius pretty much dominated in the first half, and actually led by 25-16 at the end of the first half. But then it took the Pius almost 14 minutes of the 16 minutes of the second half. It took Pius almost 14 minutes before they scored a point. They actually did score. They had 1 field goal by Marissa Valdez in the third quarter, early in the third quarter, and then they went on a long drought forever. And actually, Maricel didn't score early. She scored toward the end of the quarter, so they went almost a full quarter without scoring, and they got that one basket by Marisol, and then they went for another long drought, and then finally picked up 5 points from Alyssa Mays. But that was it. So the Hilltoppers come out on top 33-32 here against the Sartans. And Alyssa Mays ends up finishing the ball game with 12 points. They said she fouled out. My tally of the fouls and the scoreboard tally didn't agree very much all night long. So anyway, so for the Pius, Bella Candelaria ends up with 7 points, and Illy Gonzalez finished with 10. And Marissa Valdez, she ended up with 4. And then let's see, Catalina Naya had 2, and Desiree Ortiz, she had 4 in the ball game. So that was all the scoring for St. Pius. And then for Los Alamos, let's see, Gigi Romero, I do believe, she finished with 11. She was the high point scorer for Los Alamos, and then they kind of spread it around a little after that. Caitlin Velarde ended up with 5 as she made a clutch 3-pointer for Los Alamos, and Michelle Macias finished with 3. Daylin Rodriguez ended up the ball game with 4, and let's see, who did I miss? Carly Holland, and she ended up with 7 points for the ball game. So that's going to do it for us here. Wild ball game. It's at first Pius just took off, kind of dominated everything, and won the first half easily. But the Hilltopper defense just completely shut down the Sartans in the second half, and the defense just took over the ball game for Los Alamos. But a little surge by the Sartans right at the end of the ball game got them back in the ball game, and they did have the opportunity they had the ball back with, I think it was 18 seconds, something like that. They had the ball back, and then they lost the ball out of bounds. So anyway, that'll do it. So this is Gene Martinson for Nate Limbach and for Carol Clark of the Daily Post. I want to thank Carol for making this broadcast possible. I want to thank the police department, the fire department, and everybody at the crew and the rest of the crew. John McHale. I'm sorry Mike Mays wasn't able to make the ball game here this afternoon, but he had something else that he had to take care of. So that will do it. And final score 33-32. The Hilltoppers pull one out after being down 9 at the half. So have a great weekend, everybody, and you can make it even better weekend. I also want to thank Charlene back at the studio. She's the one that keeps all this stuff going, making sure that we stay on the YouTube channel. And so anyway, back to have a great weekend, everybody. And you can make an even better weekend. All you got to do is put a little love in your heart. Don't forget to hug that penguin. But the most important thing you can always do is just be excellent to each other. And sweetie pie, wild ball game, honey. And I love you, sweetie.